Hello and welcome to the GTOAA 2025 National Convention in Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Alana Dow. I am the Original Owners Coordinator for the GTOAA. For those of you who aren't aware, the Original Owners Program is an amazing opportunity to acknowledge individuals who have owned their vehicle from the very beginning when it came out to the factory until present day. Continuous ownership. These people have provided documentation and receive awards at the banquet ceremony for their continued ownership. I am here today with one of those owners.
Okay, now what would you like to know?
I would like to know what got you to purchase this vehicle in the first place.
Okay. After I got out of school from Tennessee, UT, and I went to work at Pratt Whitney, and so I bought a 66 GTO.
Oh.
I ordered a new 66 GTO from 60 miles down the road here. We have a dealership that the dealer was a friend of my dad's. So then when the 68s came out, I saw one of those, so I ordered. So when I went to Lance Rogan, we called him Mr. Lance, he called me Mr. Jim. And when I told him I wanted to order a car, he said, "Now, Mr. Jim, here's the order blank that I have to fill out to General Motors." He said, "I don't know anything about this car you want." He says, "You fill in the dots of whatever you want." And he says, "I'll send it in. And then when it comes back in, then you can pay me and give me $100.
Now on that list, did you have anything in mind that you absolutely needed to put down on there?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I needed to put down. But the thing that I wanted the 400 HO.
Okay.
I wanted the 4-speed. I wanted the positive traction. Since I lived in Florida, I was working at that time at Kennedy Space Center on the Apollo program. So,
oh, wow.
So I had to have air conditioning.
Yes.
So here we go. I got white interior because of Florida.
Okay.
And air conditioning, 4-speed, HO engine, because at that time that's the highest I could order. Because the thing of it is, I ordered the car in August. But this dealer sells one car a month. So he's not high on the priority list.
No.
So they didn't get around to making my car till February. Anyway, so much for that. So I got my car in March. And I took it and I thought, I am going to be something special. So here I was driving my green, Verdoro green 68 GTO into Kennedy Space Center in the parking lot. And what did I find? 5 more just exactly like it.
With the parchment interiors?
No, it didn't. They had black interiors.
Black interiors.
But they were Verdoro green. Anyway, so much for that. But that's how I got my car. So I've kept it, and I've planned, of course. Then I started restoring Corvettes, but you don't get into that. So I decided I was going to keep this since I bought it new. So I started restoring it probably about 15 years ago, and I had my neighbor help me take the body off the frame. I even cut a garage door in my basement so I could put the car in the basement. I mean, I'm crazy. So
crazy good.
So I put the car, took the body off the frame, and I took, of course, I took my phone and took pictures of everything, and I took every nut and bolt off of that frame, took it up to Bristol and had it sandblasted, and brought it back and painted it, and then I put it all back, put the frame together, put the chassis together. I rebuilt the engine, put the engine on it, ordered the exhaust, put the exhaust system, had the wheels and the tires from Coker Tire Company. Got it all running, got it up to operating temperature, shut it down, went upstairs, and didn't go back in the basement for 3 years. I was tired.
You were tired. I was going to ask, it sounds like a labor of love, Jim.
Tired.
How long did that take?
To do what I was just telling
Yeah.
you? Yeah, see, that took a couple of years. See, to get all that just exactly the way I wanted, but it had to be exactly like the factory. I mean, every nut bolt had to be the right length, the right size, everything. All the suspension parts, everything had to be exactly right, even the exhaust system. So, and then I got my neighbor to help me put the body back on. And I didn't know what I was going to do about painting it. And my neighbor said he found somebody that had just painted a Porsche. So he finally convinced him after a couple months, finally convinced him to come down and look at my car. When he saw what I had done, he said, okay, I'll paint one more car, but I'm not going to paint it anymore. So it took him 3 months. He took the fenders off, the doors off, the hood, painted up inside and out, the trunk, you should see inside the trunk and everything. And then put it all back together, and then I put the interior. The interior is all original.
Wow.
So I put all the interior back in. So that's kind of the story on my car, and I guess I'll hang into it till somebody offers me enough money to make it part. But,
Yeah.
but I'm, like I say, I'm tired of working on it, after all that.
I don't blame you. It's a big labor of love, but it's definitely reflecting.
Yeah, it
beautiful
runs
car.
good, yeah. It's a good car.
Now, with an all-original interior in there, does that mean you had kids bouncing around, sitting on it, or
And
what?
other cars.
In other cars?
Yeah.
Okay.
They never got in this one. Yeah.
Do you have?
But of course, I had my daughter was born when I was working at the Space Center, and then my son was born just before I left there. So they were real young. So and then we launched Apollo 12, and then when we got through with that, my job was done. So I left there and went to work over here. You probably noticed a small chemical plant over
Just a
here.
small one.
Yeah. So,
Just a small one.
but anyway, so I went to work there as an instrument engineer for 27 years.
I'm sure this.
That's my life.
You're 68 and you have probably an amazing bond. What are a couple great memories you could share with us that you have? Any, trouble with drag racing, getting a little too fast at one point?
Okay, one time I was late for a launch because I'd gone home to get, and I don't know whether you know much about the Space Center or not, but the big VAB with the building where they put the thing together, that big tall building.
Okay.
And and then the launch pad is 3.5 miles from there, but the road to go up to there is 5 miles long. And I turned onto that road, and I had it flat out. I don't know. I must have been going 125 or 130, and I looked in the rear view mirror, and here's this flashing red light, and he's coming right at me. And I didn't let up. I just kept on. I kept on all the way up. And when I was listening on the radio, and when they counted down 10, 9, 8, and when it got to 5, I just slammed on the brakes and slid into the sand, and he was right behind me, and he slid in beside me, and we both got out, and we watched that take off. And after when we got through, so good launch. We got in our cars and left.
That is a great story.
That's I didn't know
tickets, no
I didn't
further
know what to
communication other than
expect.
that?
I didn't know what to expect.
Do you think he knew you worked for NASA?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
But probably. I mean, we all did. So, but anyway, I didn't know whether he's going to lock me up or what. But we both had the same idea, I guess.
Go get there, watch the.
Yeah, but I was flat out.
Was it?
I didn't care.
Was it fun?
Oh yeah. And back in those days, we used to run because, see, all the astronauts were driving Corvettes, and they were hauling all the time. Nobody paid any attention to them. So we did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Engineers were crazy back then.
You got to be a little crazy to be that
Yeah,
smart.
but up here, no, we didn't do too much drag racing. up here, I guess I decided to buckle down,
Slow it down just a little bit.
raise my family. But,
Now, I'd love to know your opinion. I like to talk to the original owners and see, because you're the one who has seen muscle cars through the decades that I haven't, and with the newer generations coming in, where do you see the future of muscle cars going?
you don't want a pessimistic attitude. I'm sorry. I just don't see the interest. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I look for it, but I don't see any interest in the younger people. I just don't. I mean, you look around. You look at the, I won't say what we are, but we're older folks.
Yeah.
I've got other words I use, but. But so that's. But no, I'm sorry to say, because, I mean, like, I would like to leave this to my grandson.
Mm-hmm. How old's your grandson?
He's right now 25.
Okay.
But you can't own one of these without being able to work on it.
You said it.
It's just one of those. These are cars that require constant maintenance of some kind. They just do. I mean, whether you like it or not, and he just has no mechanical ability, and I can't leave it to him to do that, because first off, if you try to find somebody to do it, they cost an arm and a leg. So I don't know where I see this going. I like to say, I hate to be pessimistic, but that's just my opinion. And I mean, you're going to see other opinions, I know, but I just I wish I could say.
We need more people to have the passion like you do.
Yeah.
More younger generations to have that passion.
What, back when, because I'm from down here 60 miles down the road, here's where we were crazy. I mean, it's a wonder we're alive, everybody drag raced down. It's like the dealer I was telling you about that I bought my car from. I told him, I said, Mr. Lance, you ought to sell a lot of these cars. He says, no. He says, I won't sell to anybody else this time. I said, what? He says, because the car's too fast for these boys. He says, I won't. He says, you're the only one that's ever bought one of these.
Didn't want you going chasing rocket ships on it?
Yeah.
Would you have kept going and seen if you could beat the rocket?
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Jim, thank you so much for your time.
Well,
Really appreciate
thank you.
it.
Enjoyed it.
Excellent. And continue to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Maybe I'll see you the next time.
Absolutely.
See Mr. Jim